Okay, so today, continuing with the back wall with the box assemblies, I've got a couple of boxes made here. This is the one that's the cabinet that's over the fridge. That's why it's deeper. I believe that's the one that's going to hold up the microwave range hood. I've got one that I'm assembling right now. That's going to be one of the uprights. So there's 4 cabinets that are going to go on this upper wall. Pretty much today what I've got done so far is I've got the rail up. I managed to get the rail up, which was, well, the first part went quite well. The one long section went well because I had already marked the studs, so that was pretty good. I was able to hit solid wood. But then the extension piece, of course, because the rail is only so long, I had to extend or cut a smaller piece. So when you get these smaller pieces, sometimes it's tricky because you can't always hit a stud. So I ended up drilling quite a few holes before I found lumber. So I've got a couple there, and then just for safety I added a couple like a wall anchor style. So that one section will basically be holding up this cabinet. So it's quite a big one. I think it's I think they're 40 inches long, so they're quite tall. So I think if I can get that done today, I'll be pretty happy. I haven't done anything else on the back wall here, or the window wall, I should say. I haven't done anything else. I held off on my bench seat for a split second there. I kind of thought I might have had the wrong cabinet, but it looks like it looks right. It looks like it's the one. So maybe I'll continue with that one a little bit later. What I want to do now is I've got one more of these to do, which goes on this side. So you have the small one, microwave range hood, one long hangy one. No, hangy is not a word, but one long one here, one long one there, and then the deeper one above the fridge. Now, my plan today is just to make these boxes. I've got one more to do, like I said, and hang them. It's a really nice day. It's Good Friday, so I think it's a nice day for a walk. So I don't want to kill myself here. I'm just going to try to do a few hours or a couple hours every day. So the plan is to hang these boxes, literally hanging them off that rail. And the other thing I want to do or research is where the fridge gets tucked in, there's some upright pieces that go on either side. And the plan doesn't really explain any of that. I'm going to have to do a little bit of Googling perhaps. Because I don't think the box or the cabinet above the fridge, it doesn't just hang. I mean, I'm going to hang it for now, but I believe it's got side pieces that go with it. But I'm not quite there yet. I got to do some more research. One thing I want to point out, yesterday or the last time I did some filming, I talked about this gap here. And all these cupboards have a bit of a gap. I mean, whether your wall is straight or not, I mean, this is a 100-year-old house, and you can see that obviously the cabinet is very straight, and the gap is fairly uniform. So I'm still not 100% sure if this is proper. This is showing a cabinet from the back side. So you see how the bracket, which hangs off the rail, it protrudes. It protrudes off the cabinet. You can see it here. It sticks out quite a bit. And at the bottom of each cabinet, there's another little foot. And if you look at this little foot, this meant to rest against the wall. If you look at it, well, I mean, that sticks up quite a bit. So if your wall is here, it's kind of normal, in my opinion, that you'd have a gap there. Unless I've done this wrong, I don't know. I don't think. I mean, every box is essentially the same. Here's one, for example. I mean, they're different dimensions, but they're all essentially the same things. They show the parts. They show how to put them together, which, you know, there's your bracket that mounts on the rail. And the rest is just your standard Ikea builds with your wooden dowels and your your locking screw things. And you know, once your box is assembled, you lock everything in as per, and then you mount your little there's those little stoppers that go on the bottom. So they're meant to go there, they're meant to stick out, so I can only assume that the gap is normal. Now I don't know, I still have plenty of boxes that are not open yet. I mean, the living room it's getting a little bit better. I can see the floor now. But there's still lots of stuff. There's hardware, there's these long strips. I think these might be fillers. These longer plasticky ones these are toe kick. And I've realized how the toe kick is plastic and how it attaches is with these legs, like I showed the legs yesterday. Once your legs are underneath your cabinet, you clip these on. You basically clip this on, and then once this is clipped on, see it's round, you clip that on, and then the flatness, the flat area, whether it's this way or this way, that's what the toe kick butts up against. So I don't know if there's an adhesive there. No, I'm not there yet, but anyway, it's quite different from anything else I'm used to, but we'll see how it goes. It's kind of interesting so far. It's mostly just all assembly. It's very mechanical. I haven't had to take out, the only cutting I've had to do so far was with my zip disc. I had to cut these rails, because you got to cut these to length. And the rails back here, obviously, you can't just put a long one there because that would be exposed, so I just cut little sections. Seems to be working for now. Of course, nothing is fastened back there. I'm leaving everything loose. Like I said, I'm just going to hang everything, size things up. Once I get all the uppers hung, then that'll give me an idea. I can push the fridge back, get that out of the way. I could put the stove back, and then I could start maybe building the bottom or the base cabinets. But the island, that's another can of worms, because the island is going to be built right here, right where the remnants of my old kitchen is still existing. So like I said, just doing a couple hours every day. I've got 1, 2, and 3 boxes done. I'm going to build one more of these identical. I'm going to mount these on the rail, and maybe get a little bit of footage of that after. Hopefully they hang, and hopefully they stay up there and it looks half decent. Okay, well, here are the 4 boxes, and like I said, with the rail system, it's actually pretty quick. So I literally just threw up the boxes up there. They're just hanging. They're still free to slide from side to side, but it is starting to look somewhat like a kitchen. So I've got the uppers there. Obviously, those are the uppers. The outlets line up fairly well underneath. Looks like the wire's tucked underneath there for the range hood, but I can just tuck that above, cut a small hole right there, and have an outlet in there, so the microwave can just be plugged in if I don't want to hardwire it. So this is again, this is just really the beginning. It is taking shape. But now comes the fiddling. So obviously, if you come up close to here, I'm talking again about this gap, and I mean, the gap is everywhere. Like I said, these slide from side to side, no problem there. Everything is free to move. But in the last video, I mentioned the little foot stopper that's back here. So in this case here, I'm not sure, but if you look at this, you'll see that it's kicked out quite a bit on the bottom. I mean, if I just do this, even with a short level, you can see how much it's out. So I don't know at this point. I'm certainly not interested in modifying the rail in any way, shape, or form. But if I do have to bring the base in, I don't see any harm in eliminating potentially this this little foot stopper. You know, maybe if I remove those and this would sit flat, this would become straighter. As I move further down, because I mean this is a 100-year-old house, it's all made out of rough cut lumber. How is this one back here? This one's out as well. So it might be an idea to remove all those little stoppers in the back. And then of course these are all going to be clamped together and screwed. So I'll make sure the faces are all flush. And then most likely I'm going to have to remove some of those to try to make this work. I mean, we'll try to make it as level and plumb as we can, but I mean, there's only so much you can do. Here's the one for the refrigerator. How does this one look? Now, ironically, the one for the refrigerator is pretty damn straight. So it just goes to show. And I obviously did a pretty good job on the rail, because this is okay. Can live with that. So the rail was straight. You can see that, well, maybe you can't see it now that they're all in, but the cupboards are straight. The ceiling is not. It does kind of go up a little bit in that corner, but I mean, that's just something we're going to live with. Pretty happy with this so far. It's about 2:30, and I started this morning around 8. So I'm going to call this half a day's work. So half a day. Tomorrow we'll do another half day. Yeah, eventually we'll get ourselves a kitchen. Now, the next step, like I mentioned before, is going to be mostly research, because I really don't know. I mean, obviously I know the fridge goes under here. But I'm just going to use this as a pointer. There's side pieces that are meant to go down. Like a side here and a side there. I have absolutely no idea how those get attached. But I don't know if they're meant to go right to the floor. Obviously they are, but they must be attached to that box. I don't know if there's, at this point, I'm not sure if there's filler pieces in between. I know there's a filler here, because the whole point was to try to sort of center this into this room. As long as we came up to that pipe, the pipe's going to be boxed in, of course, like I've mentioned before, made to look like a column. That's a project for way down the line. But anyway, yeah, microwave will go here. Obviously our fridge. My next dilemma is these side panels. But so far I'm pretty happy. I think the next thing I'm going to do, these are all 24 by 24 by 30. 24 by 24, 30, 30. Yeah. Oh, this one's a little bit different. But these are obviously going to be the base cabinets. The 30s being probably one, well, I'm not going to assume yet, but they're going to be the base cabinets, because I know 30 is a standard width. There's going to be 2 base cabinets here. And then I think there's 3 that make up the island. So 2 there and 3, so there's at least 5. So I've got 4 boxes here. Let's see if there's another box over here that I have not spotted yet. Everything looks kind of skinny. Skinny, skinny, skinny. Oh, hi Willow, you're still here. Actually, that's not true. You're outside. You just came in from outside. The dishwasher's under there. Everything here is skinny, which would mean to me that these are either doors or shelves. Doors or shelves or whatever. And I don't know what's in this bag. There's a big bag of... Oh, God. Maybe there's something important here that I should have opened up. Maybe there's instructions in there. God knows. No. So probably I guess the island will not be 3 cabinets because one will incorporate the dishwasher, so it's basically just going to be an opening. So it would make sense that this is the rest of my bases. I think I'm going to call it done for today. Happy with the progress. A nice sunny day. Maybe time to go do something else. Okay, that's all for now.